A man and two women were trapped inside a sauna. The heat was becoming unbearable, and it felt like they were moments away from dying. In a desperate attempt to survive, the man grabbed a towel and reached for the burning hot stones inside the heater. Even though he knew he'd get burned, he wasn't about to give up. Fueled by his will to live, he managed to pull out a stone from the heater. He quickly tossed it into a foot basin filled with water. Once the stone had cooled, he grabbed it and started smashing it against the small glass window on the door. But even though it was just glass, it wouldn't break. His hands were soon bloodied from the effort, yet the window remained intact. Sweat poured from him in the extreme heat, but he didn't dare stop. If they couldn't break the glass and let some air in, they'd be cooked alive. Then, with a final burst of strength, he struck the window again, and this time, it shattered. Before he could catch his breath, Cassie shoved past him, gasping desperately for the fresh air that rushed through the opening. The three took turns at the broken window, drawing in as much oxygen as they could. With the fresh air, they finally had a brief moment of relief. They hoped the cooler air would bring the temperature down, but to their horror, the sauna was equipped with an automatic thermostat. As soon as the temperature dropped, the heater kicked into overdrive, reheating the room to the set level. Yes, they could breathe now, but if they didn't escape soon, the relentless heat would still kill them. That's when Charlie had an idea. He wrapped a towel around the stone and tried to toss it through the broken window, aiming to hook a wooden ladder propped up outside the door. But after several attempts, he realized the towel wasn't long enough. The plan simply wouldn't work. Running out of options, Charlie searched the room and spotted a wall light. If he could disable the wiring, maybe he could cut the power to the sauna entirely. Without hesitation, he unscrewed the light bulb and dampened a towel with water. But as soon as he made contact, a surge of electricity shot through him. He collapsed, convulsing on the floor. Xiaomei rushed over and helped him up. Thankfully, he was still alive, but the attempt had failed. Even after shorting the wires, the power was still on. The group sank into deeper despair. Just when things seemed hopeless, they suddenly heard voices outside. It was one of their friends. They screamed for help, but right then, the neighbor outside started setting off fireworks. The loud explosions drowned out their cries. After the fireworks, the neighbor saw Jack standing outside alone and invited him in for a drink. Jack, unaware of what was happening inside, assumed his friends had ditched him to go have fun. So he happily accepted the neighbor's offer, completely unaware that his companions were still trapped, now out of water and on the edge of collapse. What awaited them was an even harsher reality.